Hello, hello, my little art witch friends. How are you today? Here we are for a cuppa and a chat. So I've got decaf tea at the moment because I've already had 2 cups of tea and I get a little bit buzzy. So I thought best not have another lot of caffeine just yet. So I've gone with the decaf. So, oh, lovely, 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 nice and hot. Do you like my mug? Cute. Right, okay, so what's been going off? I don't know what's been going off in your life, but mine's been a little bit, not chaotic, a little bit, so, yeah, a little bit of backwards and forwards with solicitors and things, which always gets me a bit edgy. You know, it's like when you deal with anything that causes you anxiety, you sort of get used to it and you calm down a little bit. But then the slightest thing comes along and it sort of bubbles it up again, and I get nervous belly, as I call it. And my anxiety goes straight for my belly. So this morning I'd got a little bit of that because today is a sort of deadline day for us for one of the stages of our claim. So yeah, so that's been in the air, and I think it's made the air feel prickly. So I've had a prickliness and uneasiness. And then I always find it strange because, you know, not everybody's going through the same things as me, but there's still this certain energy around that is making everybody feel in a similar way regarding different things that's happening in their lives. So yeah, not everybody's going through what I'm going through, but whatever it is they're going through is feeling a little bit prickly at the moment. So yeah, a little bit of prickly energy around. And when it was the new full moon on Friday, oh gosh, it was just felt very, yeah, there was a lot of energy around. So yeah, that's been going off. So a bit coping with that really, in whatever way feels right. Sometimes it's just sitting down and watching TV blindly. Sometimes it's going out and chatting with friends or with our other halves, that sort of thing. Or sometimes it's just going to bed and putting your head under the covers. Whatever it is, you just have to trust yourself and trust that you know what's right for you when you're going through prickly times. So I tend to, when something's happening like that and my mind is overly occupied with not such great stuff, that it's good for me to do something repetitive and monotonous. You know, this is when going for a walk's good. You know, that just the action of walking is good for you, good for your body, keeps you balanced. And what I tend to do in the studio is that's when I do something productive but repetitive and monotonous. So I've been creating some little like collage paper using my seasonal monthly images that I've created to make these like little wallpapers. And what fun I've been having with that, and it really helped me zone out, you know, just this methodical repetitive thing of creating each wallpaper. So I created 6 different wallpapers for each month, and then tested printing them out and things like that. So I've got those to show you. So I've done 2 different sizes. I've only got the little mini ones here at the moment, but so this is the one, like this is April's, this is Grow wallpaper. So there's a little sheet of stickers that's on sticker paper that I've printed out, and then these little printed papers that sort of match. Let me see if I can show you. So yeah, these little papers like this, like this, and I've really enjoyed it. I think what it was, I wanted some papers to use in a junk journal that I'm going to show you, and I'm going to do tutorials on. And I wanted some papers to use within them, as well as the magazine cuttings and scraps and things like that that we have hanging around. I wanted some of my own, some sort of colourful ones and things. So there's the one with the little April's fairy all over it. Little jugs like this. So yeah, that was really good for me, for my body, to get rid of this nervous energy, and also enjoy doing something. You know, I enjoyed the process of designing the papers, and then making the little stickers, then printing them out, and making the little band and everything like that. So that was a really nice thing for me to do for my mental well-being. Yeah, I will be putting those in my shop, you know, in the next couple of weeks. I'll take some photos and things, because I've got a lot of photos to take of them. And yeah, I hope you'll like those, and there'll be something fun to play with in your journaling, or whatever you do with them. So I've done A4 size sheets, and then I've done these little mini sheets as well. So yeah, they'll be something that's going in the shop, because what happened was, I need a sip of tea. I've always wanted a shop. I think a lot of people are like this, but I've always wanted my own little shop. And in different ways I have done that. When I was a youngster, when I was about 15 or so, when I got my first Saturday job, I worked in a lovely gift shop called Canopy. And the owners were real proper hippies. They were brilliant. And we sold all sorts of things, jewellery and pottery, clothes, all the incense, the natural beauty products and stuff like that. And they asked me if I wanted a job. I used to go in this shop a lot. And they asked me if I wanted a job. And so I worked for them on a Saturday. I became part of the little family. And what they would do, they'd let me do the window display. And we had this beautiful window with a tree painted on the glass. That's where the name Canopy came from. And fake grass all in it. And they would let me design it. And then I started I've always made things, you see. I made these little felt mice, little dressed felt mice. And they would let me put a little display of my felt mice in the window as well for me to sell. And one Christmas, I remember, I'd made all like skiing mice and rock climbing mice, and we had this fake snow scene with these little mice all in it, and I would sell them to customers in the shop. So it was like they let me have my own little shop within their shop, and I loved it so much. I then went on to work in local government. Didn't like that. Didn't like that. Oh no, it's not for me. That wasn't. And then I got a job in an art gallery, and they would again let me do the window displays, and I was in charge of the jewellery, and so I was able to display everything. So lovely. They really gave me free rein there. And so it's always been this little dream of mine to have my own shop. When we ran the restaurant, we had an area where we had my dad's watercolour paintings for sale on the wall, and we had this little area that we used where we could sell things. So I had greetings cards that I'd made for sale there. I had my own stickers and things like that. So I had this little display again. So I know this is quite a long story, but I'm just telling you, this is me. This is what's in my head. And then recently I've been thinking, how much I enjoy creating a product, creating something and taking nice photos and displaying them nice. And, this is one of the things I love to do. And so I surround myself with these sort of fake window displays and things. And then I had a dream. I had a dream that I'd opened up a little shop with all the things I've ever made in it. It was stuffed with all sorts of things, jewellery and felt mice and papers and cards and oracle cards and everything. And this shop was just up the road from me. And yeah, and I was in this shop and I felt so happy in this dream. I was so happy. Somebody came in and said, oh, you know, what staff do you have? And I went, there's just me. That was a big thing. It was one of the things that I didn't like about running a restaurant and running an engineering business was employing people. Anyway, so I'd obviously thought, no, I just want this to be for me. Now I know I'm not going to be having a shop because I know what it's like running a business like that, and I don't want to do that again. And it's too much financial responsibility having a bricks and mortar place. So I thought, well, I know what I can do. I can turn some of my shelves into like my own little mini shop in my studio. So that is what I've been entertaining myself with. And that is where the other, that's why I wanted to just create some products and have some fun with that. So hence I made these, and I've got the promise beads, and I have my cut and play paper dolls, and I've got lots of other things that I want to just do just for the sheer enjoyment of it. You know, these things aren't massive money-making schemes or anything like that. It is purely for my enjoyment. And I do love posting things as well. So that's one of the fun things I like doing. One of my favourite times of the month is when I send out my pen pal letters to, I have 15 of them. I couldn't do more than that. Cutting out all the paper dolls, 15 of them. Yeah, it hurts. It's a labour of love. But I love sending them out so much. So yeah, so that's what I've been keeping my brain busy with, as well as the usual art and tutorials and things like that I create, which I absolutely love doing. So yeah, focusing on good stuff, focusing on things that make me happy. And that is one of the things that make me happy. So I do have some other little things that are going in the shop, but they're a bit of a secret at the moment. They are coming soon, but I will give you a tiny sneak peek. Okay, are you ready? Because she's going to come and then she's going to go. Okay. Hello. Bye. More about those another day. So yeah, talking about the junk journal, I did have this idea that I could maybe create some junk journals and sell those, but the postage absolutely kills everything. So that's why I try and make things that will fit in the thin little boxes, and my junk journal didn't and won't. So so I don't think this is going to be anything. And the hours that go into making something like this is just, it's not a good use of my time to try and sell those. So I'm sure any of you that have sold anything about it, or you understand this, you know, that you can't charge the right amount for certain things. So what I decided that I would do instead is next month on our Crafty Witch tutorial in Patreon, I'm going to show you how to make a junk journal like mine. So this is what I've made, and I'll show you more about it later, but I've used magazine pages because as you know, I have lots of magazines. I have stacks of them down there, and yeah, I wanted to turn the rubbish into something beautiful. So this is so far. I'm not going to show you inside because that would be spoiling the surprise, but we're going to be making one of these, and then I'm going to be using it as my own personal junk journal as well, and sharing those. So I thought that'd be a nice fun thing to show you how to do and to play along with. So that is going to be next month's crafty thing. I'm still in the process of doing the dollhouse, the Pop It to Dollhouse file. That's sort of in the process, but it's it's not quite ready yet, but that's I think for next week anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. This week we've been doing about the houses, so this is my Star Quest thing. So in our charts we've been doing, if I can find it, no, come on mate, these. So this is what we've been doing today, all about the houses and our ruling signs and the planets that are in your different houses. So I've been making these worksheets and working on that. But yeah, so that's been going, that's gone out I think today. So that's been very interesting. But I'm taking it one bite at a time, because it's something that I could get overwhelmed with all the information and trying to fathom out and understand it all. So yeah, one step at a time, baby steps. So that's what I've been doing 40 times, and I've been out for a couple of little walks and looking in the garden as well, watching things start to emerge and poke through. We've got some daffodils that are about ready to come through, and the birds are getting frisky. Birds are definitely getting frisky. So then the cats are getting it. Well, Frank, Noel's too lazy, but Frank is getting frisky as well because he's seeing the birds getting frisky. So so yeah, you can see that little sparkle of spring coming through here, which is nice. I've been a little bit like not quite wanting to go out of winter, not quite ready to emerge yet. I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but I find winter sort of safe, cold, but safe. And I love spring because it's like the two, like, you know, you're a bit of that safe inside thing, but you can also go outside and see happy, nice things growing, and it warms up a little bit. But then there's also this, you know, like when in the summer there's more exposure, more being out there, and I sometimes find that a little bit overwhelming, a little bit. It's hard to explain because it's a lovely joyous time of the year, summer is. But yeah, sometimes a little bit too much activity, yeah. Maybe I'm just lazy. Maybe I am. I don't think I'm a lazy person though, because I'm always busy. But yeah, I'm still thinking the windows looked filthy. And we've got these like kitschy, cottagey net curtains at the windows. So I can't see the dirty windows, which is great. But then I'm thinking maybe they could do with a bit of a spring freshen up and get them washed. And so, yeah, I think it'll be a window cleaning time. So to me, window cleaning is like letting the light in. So symbolic in that way. You know, you're cleaning the windows to look outside and to let outside in. And it's a time to open the windows and let the fresh air come in and circulate around the house and things. So yeah, houses. I've been thinking a lot about houses, a lot. What with thinking of the idea of how to create my puppet home, house, file thingamajig, and also thinking about my own home. Nervous belly again, thinking about it. Because of what's happening in our lives and whether we will get a settlement that'll be enough to buy a house of our own. And this house, this cottage, bless it, I love it. but it was always like this temporary safe house for us to rent while we were fighting our claim. So yeah, I've been thinking about house and what I want out of a house, and there's been a lot of housey thoughts. I've been looking at houses for sale and looking at what's around and that sort of thing. Yeah. Then I was looking through house magazines yesterday and getting clippings out for my house file thingamajig. That's what I can call it at the moment until I know what it's going to look like. Yeah, what home means to me and what I want from a home. And I reached a point middle of last week, I think it was, when I was quite stressed about everything and the fact that we're just having to fight for justice, fight for, what's right. And I felt so angry, and in the middle of last week I thought, oh, just bollocks to the lot of it. Everybody just leave us alone. I'm just going to buy a caravan and 2 bikes and go and live in a field somewhere so that the world will leave me alone. And I wonder if any of you have had those moments where you've done something really quite big like that. I don't know if I'd be brave enough to actually do it. All mouth and no trousers. I don't know. Maybe I will. I've done brave things in the past, I'm sure. Yeah. Consider some of the things I've done as brave. Foolish. I've always had tea by my side. Polly was asking me yesterday why people say, oh, when the tea alarm goes off in the UK, everybody gets up and goes running. She says, what does that mean, Mama? I says, because that's what we survive with, tea. Yes, a nation of tea drinkers. I think we still are. Although I did read somewhere that, coffee had sort of taken over in some places, but it was never for me. I take tea bags when I go on holiday because I don't like the tea when I go abroad. So I always take my own tea bags. Yeah, that's how sad I am. So I have to have a cup of tea in the morning. Otherwise, I'm nasty. Really, really nasty. Trust me. I think I've only done it once or twice in the past year or so. And I'm not nice without tea in the morning. So, yeah, not loads going off, but productive. And building my little pretend shop and enjoying that. And keeping a lid on my stress, keeping a lid on the anxiety by, working in my own little factory. That's what it feels like. My own little productive factory. So I hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever you might be going through, and if you're feeling prickly, that you can find something that you can focus your good vibes on, and that can bring you some balance and some calmness to your week. So yeah, that's me. I'm going to get busy in my little factory again. Try and maybe build the house. I wonder if I'm putting it off because I don't know what I want out of a house. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do as the house. Now I wonder if I'm putting it off, but the puppets need somewhere to live, don't they? I'm going to have to do it. So yeah, that's what I will be doing today, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me and watching me waffle, as always. Yes, I hope you have a nice balanced week, calm and balanced, and not such a prickly week as we had last week. Let that moon energy die down a little bit, eh? So, see you soon. Love you loads and sending you lots of magical love.